This is Peter Hessler, and I have a piece in this week's New Yorker about uranium mining in southwestern Colorado. It's a part of the country that probably most people don't think of when they think of the atomic revolution. I'm writing in particular about one town in this region named Uravan. They actually held a contest, and people suggested names for it, and they took the name from uranium and vanadium, which were the two elements that were being mined in this area. And this was a small town that first came about in the early 1900s, and then the Manahttan Project was based there. And, for many of the years it had a population of nearly 1,000 people. There was a uranium mill there where they processed what was mined from the hills nearby. When the nuclear industry in America began to fade, many of the workers were laid off. And sort of the second blow to Uravan happened in the 1980s. This was a time when, in the wake of 3 Mile Island, there was a great fear of radiation and of contamination, and many of these old uranium towns were being remediated, and the state of Colorado forced the town to be closed and all the residents to be moved out. And so this was a town that was literally just shuttered, and this happened at December 31st of 1986. They moved everybody out, and after that they spent more than 20 years removing every trace of human habitation from this place. Now you go to Uravan, and it's really just a spot beside the highway. It's surrounded entirely by a wire fence, and it has, radioactive warning signs all around it. And people respond to it in very different ways. I mean, I met a lot of folks who, when they drive by, will drive by as fast as they can, or even try to avoid it, because they believe that the area is highly radioactive. If you go with somebody who lived in that town, it's a very different experience. I mean, of course, they aren't worried about the radioactivity. They lived there for much of their lives. It was something that really surprised me in the researching of the story was how deeply people felt for this town. And they would remember kids they grew up with. They would point out where their houses used to stand, where they were married, where their younger brothers and sisters were born. They felt like this was something that had been destroyed sort of in an unfair way. And they saw it as being wasteful, and they also thought that it stigmatized them and it stigmatized the region.